Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Good afternoon, everyone. So today is our last class and we have already finished the whole chapter. So there were two things that someone had requested me to revise. So we will start with those. And then if anybody has any questions, any doubts, we will take it up after I finish discussing those. And then we will practice some of the questions from the question paper. So this is how we'll pan out today's class. So one of the first topics that we had to I was asked to revise is the FIR, or the first information report. So we'll start with the FIR. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Okay. So this is the FIR. Now, what is an FIR? An FIR is a first information report, which is a document that we write when we file. It is a file document. It is a written document that we file at the police station. Now, when do we file this, and how is it different from a police complaint? So, FIR is when the police can take direct action without the intervention of the court or a warrant from the court. So I think all of you have watched a lot of crime series or movies, and you know that the police cannot investigate a person without a warrant. Jaise you have heard the term search warrant. So you cannot investigate a person without a warrant, and this warrant is usually this warrant is this warrant is authorized by the court. Now that is called a non-cognizable offense. Sorry, a cognizable offense. Sorry, a cognizable offense, and when the warrant is required, that is called non-cognizable offense. Now, FIR is filed, like the first information report is filed, when a cognizable offense has occurred, which means that the police can investigate you without the intervention of the court or without a warrant. But a police complaint in that case is filed when a cognizable or a non-cognizable offense has happened. That is, you are complaining to the police. You can complain in both cases, when the police can directly intervene or when the police requires the permission of the court or a warrant from the court to intervene. So this is the main gist of what is an FIR. An FIR is a first information report that is filed at the police station. It is a written document. Now, when do you usually require to file an FIR? You require to file an FIR when you have like a theft or you lose something. This is usually the case when you file an FIR. And one of the reasons why obviously we are doing this is because in many cases a lot of us lose a lot of important documents. So in that case, when we lose something important, we need to require to file an FIR at the police station before we can reapply for that document. So to file, the need for an FIR arises when there is a loss or theft of important documents, or a loss of mobile phone, or something that is important to us. Now, in order to get a duplicate copy, you require this FIR or the document that you have filed at the police station to make this application. So say you lose your class 12th mark sheet, or you lose an admit card, or you lose your birth certificate, and you need to reapply for a duplicate copy, then in that case you have to reapply with this with a copy of the FIR that you have filed at the police station. Now, why do you require this document? You require this document because because wherever you are applying that person, say you lose your mark sheet, like your class 12th mark sheet, and you have to reapply for it for a duplicate, like you have to apply for it for a duplicate copy from CBSE, and you attach this FIR, so CBSE knows, like the board knows, that you are you are a legitimate person who has lost this document and require a duplicate copy. Like you're not a fake person, because your name and your query and your FIR is there in the police station, like it is there in the police records. So obviously they give you the benefit of doubt ki you are a legit person. And then the second reason is, sometimes when we lose our documents, it can be used, or rather misused, for a lot of wrong things. So in that case, so that no one misuses it, or even if it is misused, you are not blamed for it, you file an FIR. Because sometimes we must have, like, you must have heard so many cases, maybe watched episodes of Crime Patrol, where something got lost, like some important document, and someone, whoever found it or whoever stole it from you, misused it for wrong things, brought some illegal, bought some illegal stuff or something in your name, or procured a SIM card in your name through which they performed illegal activities. So just so that if a case like this happens, if such a case is to arise, you can always tell the police that I had lost this and I had filed an FIR, and you can show them the copy of your FIR that you have. That will tell the police ki your document or whatever you lost, your SIM card, your phone number, has been misused by another person, and this has nothing to do with you. So this keeps you in the clear. Say you lose your phone and you don't file an FIR, and someone misuses your number for wrong things, or say you lose your document and someone misuses that document in your name and does something illegal, and the police will obviously trace it back to you because it has happened in your name, and you don't have an FIR, you never complain to the police station, then you will have to take the blame because your name is involved in it. So just so that this does not happen, and you can keep yourself in the clear and tell the police ki I lost this and I have nothing to do with it, you should always file an FIR when such a case arises, like when such cases arise. So once you file, now FIR, as you can see, is an important piece of document. So make copies of it, duplicate copies, keep it with you. One will obviously be in the police station. Another one will be wherever, if you require to apply for documents, like I said, you lost your mark sheet or you lost your admit card and you need to apply for it again. So you will have to send your you will have to send one copy there, and keep one copy for your own sake forever. Keep that copy that you had filed this FIR. Now, and when you make the copy, make sure that your copy also has the signature of the police in charge with his name and designation, like his name and the fact that he is a police in charge with the stamp of the police station and everything should be there, so that it is a legitimate document. Now, let us talk of the basic format. What does the format include? So the FIR must include the police station, like the police station that you have gone to, and the district. You know that every police station will have its name and district, so that it should have, then it should have your personal details. Now, if you lost a piece of document and the police has to the police catches the person who has done it, or has to return those documents to you, or has to return your mobile phone or whatever, then they need your details, right? So make sure you give the right details. You write your name, your father's or husband's name, your address, your phone number, email ID, etc. Then you write the place of occurrence, like where has this incident happened? Where did you lose your phone? Where did you lose your document? You will write the distance from the police station, direction from the police station, so that the police can trace it back. Then you will write date and hour of occurrence, like when did it happen. Obviously, as as well as you can remember it, or as minutely you can trace it. You can't obviously be like, I am sure at this second ये हुआ था. Obviously वो नहीं होता है. So you're just going to like you are going to be as precise and as certain as possible. Then you will write the nature of the offense, like what has actually happened. Then you will ask the police station. Like this section is obviously something that the office does it, because we don't know all the sections in the IPC, right? Like the and what laws are, like what law falls under it, or what does it state, so that the police officers only do it. Then you will write what like the particulars of that. You will describe it. You will describe your item. If you suspect someone, you will describe the person that you suspect. And if there were any witnesses, you will write the details of them. And then you will lay down the facts. And this is how this is the basic format. Now you can see that a sample has been given, where you can see from applicant's name, like who is filing the FIR, the contact address, mobile number and phone number, email ID. Then you write the date, and then you start like a normal formal letter, where you write to the police officer in charge, address, you write the address of the police station that you have gone to, you write respected sir or ma'am or whoever is the police in charge of the police station. Then you write in the subject, you write loss of original. Say you lost a document or your phone, so you write loss of my phone or loss of my original, whatever document that is. Then you write what happened while traveling from, say you were traveling from Vishwavidyalaya to Hoskas, you write while traveling from Vishwavidyalaya to Hoskas by, say, metro, I lost my original document bearing whatever, like my origin, like you lost your file, so you write what was in that file. Then you write, if you know where it happened, say Rajiv Chowk mein bahut people had got up and you think it happened in that area, so you write that this is where it happened. If you think that is where it happened, then you write, sir, to avoid any misuse of my documents, I seek your help and request you to kindly register my FIR. So then you write for ready reference, then you write this format, for ready reference, I enclose herewith. If you have a copy of whatever is lost, you usually have Xerox copies, right? You attach that so that the police knows what it looks like. And you also give an ID proof. So Aadhaar, voter, driver's license, whatever, you give a copy of your ID proof. Then you end it saying thanks and regards, yours sincerely, your signature and your name. So this is like the format of the FIR that you have. Like you can take a screenshot of this format if you want, so that you remember. Lakshmi, then that would be your internet problem, which is why, because my screen is clear to me, so I don't know. Okay, now the other thing that you guys had asked me to discuss, or someone did, was Amal Kanti. Now, Amal Kanti is a suggested reading that you have, and I had already told you that it is a suggested reading, which means that questions from Amal Kanti will not directly come for your exam. But okay, briefly we will just discuss Amal Kanti. So let us read the poem and just discuss this poem briefly. Just 1 minute. Amal Kanti is a friend of mine. We were together at school. You can see this is very simple. He often came late to class and never knew his lessons. So this person, so the poet or whoever is the narrator of this poem is writing that Amal Kanti is a friend of mine. Matlab, whoever is writing, matlab, see, sometimes when we write poems or when we write something, we might use first person or write like I, me, my. But it does not mean that this is necessarily the author or the poet. It can be another personality altogether that the author or the poet is writing about. So similarly, even in this poem Amal Kanti, the poet and the person narrating the poem or the person saying that Amal Kanti is a friend of mine can be said to be two different people. They are not necessarily the same person. The poet is writing about Amal Kanti and this other person. So Amal Kanti is a friend of mine and we were at school. We were together at school, which is very simple to understand. He often came late to class and never knew his lessons. So you can see Amal Kanti was not the most sincere person. He came late to class. I'm not saying he's not sincere because he did not know his lessons. I'm saying he's not sincere because he came late to class. So he wasn't always punctual. And he also did not know his lessons. When asked to conjugate a verb, which means when asked to tell his sentence, tenses or like be, been, being, he looked out of the window in such puzzlement that I felt sorry for him. So he did not know his answers, and whenever he was asked to conjugate a verb, he looked out of the window and he was very puzzled what to answer, and the person, Amal Kanti's friend, felt very sorry for him. Some of us wanted to be teachers, some doctors, some lawyers. So as children, many of us have so many aspirations, right? Like you also had. I'm sure a lot of you are doing what you aspired to do. You are studying to do what you aspired to do. So similarly, even in that school where Amal Kanti and this person studied, even there many children wanted to become teachers, doctors, lawyers, but Amal Kanti did not want any of these. So Amal Kanti did not want to be any of these. He wanted to be something very unique. What did he want to be? He wanted to be sunlight. The timid sunlight of late afternoon when it stops raining. So he wanted to be light. He wanted to bring happiness. He did not want to be the harsh sun. Now you know that the summer sun is very, very harsh and it hurts your body and your skin. But think about the sun in a winter afternoon. It's so nice to your body. Or think of the sun in your like during rainy days. Like after it has rained for a very long time and then the sun comes out and it just feels so much better. So that is what he's saying. So Amal Kanti did not want to be anything. He wanted to be sunlight. Like what kind of sunlight? Like the soft sunlight of the late afternoon when it stops raining and the crows call again. The sunlight that clings like a smile to the leaves of the jam, to the leaves of the jam and the jamrul. So now what you can see is that this is how soft Amal Kanti was as a person. He wanted to be that soft sunlight when the crows again start calling, when the sunlight is so pleasant and nice on the body. And you know, because after raining, all the leaves of the trees are wet. The sunlight, when it falls on those leaves, looks like it is clinging on to those leaves of the jam and the jamrul tree. Some of us have become teachers, some doctors, some lawyers. Now he's talking into the future. So first he was talking about the past when they were in school, and now he's talking about the present, not the future. I meant the future of that past, but the present. So some of them who wanted to in school become teachers, doctors and lawyers have become teachers, doctors and lawyers, like many of us do become what we aspire to become. But obviously Amal Kanti couldn't become sunlight because as a person you can't become sunlight. But becoming sunlight here is a metaphor. Now I had discussed what a metaphor is when we did a lost word. A metaphor is when you compare something with the other thing, but it's unlikely. So in this case, Amal Kanti couldn't become sunlight. So because that is, he cannot literally become sunlight. But did he metaphorically become sunlight? Is the comparison with Amal Kanti relevant? Let us see. What did Amalkanti become then? He works in a poorly lit room for a printer. So he works at a printing press. And you know that printing presses are usually in the basement and underground, and it's very dimly lit. Like there's not a lot of light because obviously it's in the basement, it's underground. You don't get sunlight or natural light. He drops in now and then to see me. So Amalkanti and the person saying the poem still meet each other. But Amalkanti goes to meet this person. And he chats about this and that, like he talks about things. Now the person talking about Amalkanti just says this and that, like he doesn't even care much about what Amalkanti talks. Over a cup of tea, and then he gets up to go. So usually Amalkanti comes to this person's house, talks about stuff, not house, to his office, talks about, or house, whatever, talks about stuff, has a cup of tea and goes. And this person goes to see him off at the door or leave him at the door. The one among us who became a teacher could have easily become a doctor. So now the person is saying that that someone who said could become a teacher could have also become a doctor. Because you know that how mundane these professions are. It's just about what we study, what we ultimately do. It's not like, so what he is trying to say is that if the one who wanted to be a doctor had become a lawyer, it wouldn't have made much difference to him. So these people they all needed a job, and it's absolutely normal to want a job to be independent. But what he's trying to indicate here is no one was passionate. Like they didn't passionately want something कि मुझे doctor ही बनना है. All they wanted was to become something and be stable, be established, be independent. So it did not, as a profession, as a job, it did not make much of a difference to him that he's a lawyer and not a doctor. He's okay with it. So all of us got more or less what we wanted, all except Amalkanti. So everyone got what they wanted, but obviously Amalkanti didn't because he wanted to be sunlight. Who used to think so much about sunlight that he wanted to become sunlight. So Amalkanti did not exactly get what he wanted. But then the poem makes you think that did Amalkanti not get what he wanted? Amalkanti did get what he wanted. He's working at a printing press, he's spreading knowledge. He's giving people knowledge, he's helping to make books. So in some way, metaphorically, Amalkanti did become what he wanted, what he really wanted to do, spread happiness. So yeah, that is what the poem Amalkanti is about. Now I've already discussed the two things that I was asked to revise in the last class. Now we'll just briefly look at everything that we have done from the question paper, and then you can do some exercises. Because the whole teaching process is so one-sided, we don't really get to, like, I don't get to give you work and you don't even do the work, which is not a good thing. It doesn't help much, but today I have to, because literally the syllabus is over and we just need to practice at this point to get better. So you see the first question here in this question paper. I know this question paper is a BA program question paper, but you get the similar question, like you get a similar format only. There's no difference between a BA program getting an English fluency paper and a BCom program getting an English fluency paper. So don't worry about that. This is there at the end of your study material. So obviously this is relevant to you. So see the first question. You can see that I don't know. Anyway, so you can see that the first question says answer all questions. And there's a passage. We discuss comprehension. So there's a passage and it says to read the passage. And then after reading the passage, you have to answer the following questions. And you have to answer all the questions as you can see. So then they say describe the following kinds of travelers in your own words. This is what I had told you even the day we were, when I taught you comprehension. Write in your own words. Do not copy paste. Even though you will get marks, some of your marks will be deducted for copying. Then the second question, you have to answer reading the passage. Third question, similar. Then they tell you, imagine yourself to be a part of the tour to Agra. What kind of traveler do you think you will be? Describe your activities. So all these lessons that we have been doing, and I've been telling you about narrative, about story, how to write a story, how to tell a story. This is the purpose. So that you can start describing your own life in a certain way. You read more, you learn more, how to express more, etc. Then they have asked you to find the words, the synonyms for these, or what describes these in the passage. So this is what you have to do for the first question. Now for the second question, what they have given you is, on the basis of your reading of the passage, prepare a note. We did note making using headings and subheadings. So I taught you what are headings, what are subheadings, with recognizable abbreviations wherever necessary, or recognizable short forms wherever necessary. So once you have these short forms, you will make a key where you will write the abbreviation and what those short forms stand for. Don't forget that. Then look at the third question where you have to do either or. One is write a book review of a book you have recently read, or write a review of the movie that you have recently watched for a magazine. So you can do either the book review or the film review or the movie review. Then look at the fourth question. While waiting at the bus stop, you saw a man harassing a girl. Prepare an FIR on the harassment to be lodged at the local police station in 100 words. So they've given you a word limit here. You know the format of the FIR, we just discussed it. You have to write a FIR keeping this topic in mind. Like, you are going to complain to the police, write an FIR because you saw a man harassing a girl at the bus stop. So you describe the man, you describe the girl, you try to say what the man was doing to the girl. Either he was catcalling her or he touched her inappropriately, whatever it was, and you write the FIR. Or, again, this is all these questions you have to just attempt one, but obviously practice everything. You are denied admission to a BA program in DU college. Write an RTI to the college concerned seeking information on admission eligibility and the details regarding the eligibility of those admitted. We discussed the format of the RTI. I sent you 2 YouTube videos which have been very helpful, which describes the RTI in with proper details. It is a lawyer who is talking in those videos. So those videos are very helpful, and you know the format. The format is there in the book. We have discussed it. So this is the other question. Now the other question is, your club is organizing an environment awareness program. As a person in charge of the program, prepare a Facebook post with event details and inviting participation. We discussed Facebook posts. You know how to write a Facebook post. You are all more tech savvy than a lot of us. I am not as bad, because I'm not very old, which is why I'm saying this. But anyway, so all you have to write is a Facebook post, keeping this topic in mind. Like, you're trying to write about this event and publish it on Facebook. Or you will write a Facebook post for your fellow students about the upcoming departmental tour to Agra with details. So either that or this. So you have to write a Facebook post given the topic. Then write a diary entry of on your last day in school in 200 words. So we have done diary entry also with the date, the time if you want to write, and you just write a diary entry like dear diary or whatever, and you describe your last day of school. Or you write a diary entry on your birthday, like you celebrated your birthday and you just write about it in your diary. Then the seventh question is, a patient goes to a medical shop with fever. We were discussing this in the last class when we did the dialogue. So it's either a dialogue or an interview. We have just discussed these two questions in the last class. And the last one is the grammar. This comes from the Swiggle and the Doodle Doo chapter, where we discuss grammar, parts of a speech. So this is the grammar. Now what I would like you to do is, I would actually like you to do the grammar right now. So this is the grammar. Please do the grammar right now. What you have to do is Rewrite the given passage after editing and proofreading it for punctuation, spelling, and grammar. You'll find 10 mistakes. So do this right now. I'm copy pasting this in the chat in case someone can't see my screen. I'm also copy pasting this in the chat. Just give me a minute. Don't tell me one karke. Tell me the whole thing once it's done. Rewrite it. Let me just publish it in the chat so that people who can't see my screen can do it. Do the whole thing, Pranav. Don't tell me one. I'm asking you to do the whole thing and write it. I'm giving you 5 minutes to do this, then we'll do some other questions as well. Okay, did any of you finish? Did any of you finish? Okay, the other thing that I would actually like you to practice is also the comprehension, because you have never done a comprehension with questions. So all the other things we have discussed in class. So this is what I want you to start now. Like answer question number 1. Obviously, you will not finish it right now, but at least start reading this. Okay, before we get into this, I want to ask for the last time, do you have any doubts, given that this is your last class? Do you have any doubts? Anything you want me to revise, clarify before we get done with the semester? Anything? If there's nothing, then just continue doing this work, because like I said, today's class had to. So read this passage, at least start reading this passage. After you finish that grammar, once you finish that grammar, please send me the answers. I will tell you the correct answers or tell you what mistake you have made. And once you're done, start reading the comprehension passage and answer the questions. I'm typing out the correct answer to you, Deepak. Check it. Or I'm just telling you your mistakes. I sent you the corrections, Deepak. And good that you actually started. It is good practice. Okay, anyway, so I would like all of you to finish this. I can send the correct answers on WhatsApp. And none of you have any more questions. So solve the question papers. There are 2 or 3 question papers at the end of the book. Solve your question papers for your exam. Uh, don't do it in the format of the question paper. Please do it. Please solve every question there is. Obviously, in the exam, you guys will get options, but it is good for you to practice everything that we have done in class. So complete the whole question papers. In case you do solve it and you want me to check it, send it on, like, send it to me on the WhatsApp group. I will check it and I will get back to you. If there are any questions that you want to ask before we conclude the class, then please do ask me. Okay, I'm assuming there are no questions. Okay, thank you everyone. This is it for this semester. All the best for your exams. I'm sure you will do well. Just follow everything we have done in class. I have taught you everything. Solve the question papers. It will help you. You need my help. You know how to reach me. And yeah, all the best. Thank you for being a good bunch. Thank you for attending the lectures, the ones who have. And yeah, I will hopefully see you again, maybe in offline classes this time. So here's hoping. All the best. Bye. Thank you, everyone.